The problem is this: when there is confusion, when there is disorder in your mind, that's when I call it the devil's playground. That's where self-hypnosis comes in. You must be able to, or I must be able to, and I will train myself to be able to keep order in my mind, discipline in my attitude, and always a powerful, alert, present defense system to put a guard around myself or a shield around myself. And with that type of a being, this is how I will go out and confront and encounter, as long as I understand the protocols of the environment that I'm in and act accordingly. As long as I have powerful discipline and impulse control, I don't say or do anything stupid. That's where my ego, my critical thinking comes in to monitor. In other words, what I'm saying to you is, before I will do anything in a public way, I put a lot of questions to myself. I monitor my behavior. And like Fritz Perls, I've learned to die my own death. I've learned how to meticulously and carefully and with deliberation and maturity monitor my behaviors. See myself behaving in a public way. You do it with visualizations, with practice scenarios, I call it, or it is called, Gedanken experience. This is a mind-body experience where through creative visualizations in the theater of your mind, you create the scenarios so that even though, because of my presence, my personality, my age, my height, I do not have the opportunity to get the experience I need to get blooded in the actual social situation of confrontation, of encounter, because simply I don't have the personality, I don't have the presence, and I don't have the communication skills, whatever that means, to be respected and accepted in most environments. I'm a short, small man. I'm 5'2.5", 5'3". That connotates weakness, fragility, and puts me on the bullseye for insult, embarrassment, and harassment. And I have to build a filter around myself so all of that garbage is blocked out. I'm not distracted. I'm not bothered by any of those things that really don't count for anything. I'm able to represent myself in the best possible way, with discipline, with maturity. And in that sense, I can be who I am. So in that sense, and that sense only, you never, never, never let anybody tell you who you are. You never, never, never let anybody diagnose you. That is, define your meaning, define who you are, tell you who you are in advance, and propagandize against you, and you don't do anything about it. All of this has a cumulative effect. You got to push back instantly. And it's in this sense only, after watching, and I hope I'm at liberty to name the names because they do the same, Mark Levin, Ben Shapiro, and what they're saying and doing to pick up a momentum in defense of Donald John Trump and Vance, and they're cheap-shotting Kamala Harris and taking full advantage of the fact that there is a regrouping and there's temporary disorder and chaos in the Democratic Party, Democratic ticket. And it's in that sense and that sense only that I would refuse to be diagnosed or labeled as cognitively dissonant, as stupid, the way that the radical right-wing talking heads are taking advantage. And I refuse on principle to use captures that are stills to make my opponent look foolish. I stand for meeting an opponent on common grounds and rationally, courteously, respectfully discussing the differences. And then I've said that after that, if I don't get the respect, and it still goes on, that I have to do whatever I have to do to assert myself. But I said that nobody will put a brand on me, will put a label on me, and I don't push back on it. But you can't let it accumulate. That's what I've been saying. You never let it run a life of its own, or let anybody run a campaign against me, because I've said what that happens is it has a cumulative effect. And I have the experience to back it up. If I don't assert myself, if I don't represent myself, then I become, by default, whatever they said I am. And that's what I meant. That's what I said. And it's in that sense, and in that sense only, that I will name my opponent, confront and counter him, and represent him in response to what he's saying about me, in response to what I see, the propaganda. And it's in that sense, and it's in that sense only, that I will challenge that impression. Thank you very much. I appreciate opportunity to clarify completely where I stand and what I'm saying. Thank you.